Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parikacharya Astottara Srimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada की जय. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parikacharya Astottara Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada की जय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय. नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय. वृंदावन धाम की जय. मथुरा धाम की जय. मायापुर नदी धाम की जय. जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय. गंगा मई जमुना मई की जय, तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की जय, समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Go Premanande Hari.
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Mahesh Pandit Prabhu. Jaya Jaya Jaya. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Namo Namaha.
Namaha Namaha. And welcome everyone for Srimad-Bhagavatam class with Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj and friends. It looks like tonight it's weighted heavily on the side of friends. Maharaj is maybe traveling. He's supposed to be in Guyana tomorrow. Maybe still in Trinidad just now. Not sure. He didn't contact me to say whether or not he would show up tonight. But here we are. And we're reading in Srimad-Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, chapter 23. And according to my notes tonight, we're picking up where we left off, which is going to be text number 43.
Right.
If that's right. Text number 43. So as has been our custom recently, we're eagerly hoping everyone will want to read and comment to their heart's content. And so thanks for being here, and thank you for leading things off, Mahesh Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you. So tonight, we are reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 23, Text 43. Now, before I go ahead on 43, I found that number 42 was very interesting. And also things like, I think it's very popular also. So I'm going to read that translation again on 42, if I may. What is difficult to achieve for determined men who have taken refuge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's lotus feet? His feet are the source of sacred rivers like Ganga, which put an end to the danger of mundane life. This is very interesting. All we have to do is determine to achieve Krishna consciousness in this life, and no more problem, no more danger. End to the danger of mundane life. Very nice verse. Any thoughts or any comments?
Yes, Prabhu, I was wondering when it says lotus feet.
You are breaking down there.
Okay, can you hear me any better now?
Yes, that's good.
So this we hear this sort of thing a lot in the Bhagavatam, taking shelter of the Lord's lotus feet.
Yes.
And I'm wondering how we can best understand that. What does it really mean to take shelter of the Lord's lotus feet for us?
Yes. For us working people in Kali Yuga, especially. Yeah, it means a lot when you say taking shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. That means we have to be very active in our sadhana, mostly chanting Hare Krishna mantra, which is recommended in this age of Kali. Hari Nama, Hari Nama, Hari Nama Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyata. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made it very easy to take refuge. Just chant Hare Krishna and be happy. And that's what Prabhupada gave us, the whole process of simply chant Hare Krishna, follow 4 regularity principle, and that's it. This is what it means by taking refuge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And it's interesting. Everything comes automatically just by chanting, without our knowledge. If there is a big danger coming, we are protected. instead of having our hair cut off, our finger will cut off. Things like that, How about you?
Or maybe our hair gets cut off.
That's right. So what do you think?
Well, my thought is that
Yeah, you're cutting off again.
can chant Hare Krishna. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why that's happening. Maybe it's a biological thing. But I'm thinking when it says take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, that we have a process, as you it's very clear for us what the process is.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not chanting while chanting properly, really. That to me, when it says to take shelter, that means really to pay attention while chanting, to try to avoid the offenses while chanting.
Yeah, because the holy name and Krishna is not different. So we are taking shelter of holy name in a shabda form or in a hearing form, and that is not different from Krishna. So yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, thank you, Prabhu. Yes, so all we have to do is take shelter, and we are okay. All right, text number 43. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Number 43. Prekshat Itva Bhugolam Prantne Yavana Swansasaya Brahma Asharyam Mahayogi Swashramaya Anta Vartata. Vartata, yes. Translation. After showing his wife the globe of the universe and its different arrangements, full of many wonders, the great yogi Kardama Muni returned to his own hermitage. Purport. All the planets are here described as gola, round. Every planet is round and each planet is a different shelter, just like island in the great ocean. Planets are sometimes called Dvipa or Varsha. This earth planet is called Bharat Varsha because it has ruled by King Bharat. Another significant word used in this verse is Bhava Ashrayam, many wonderful things. This indicates that the different planets are distributed all over the universe in the 8 directions, and each and every one of them is wonderful in itself. Each planet has its particular climate influence and particular type of inhabitants, and is completely equipped with everything, including the beauty of the seasons. In the Brahma Samhita, it is similarly stated, Vibhuti Bhinnam. On each and every planet, there are different opulences. It cannot be expected that one planet is exactly like another. By God's grace, by nature's law, each and every planet is made differently and has different wonderful features. All such wonders are personally experienced by Kardama Muni while he traveled with his wife. Yet, he could return again to his humble hermitage. He showed his princess wife that although he was living in the hermitage, he had the power to go everywhere and do anything by mystic yoga. That is the perfection of yoga. One cannot become a perfect yogi simply by showing some sitting postures. Not by such sitting postures or so-called meditation can one become God, as it is being advertised. Foolish persons are misled into believing that simply by circulate of meditation and sitting postures, one can become God within 6 months. Here is the example of a perfect yogi. He could travel all over the world, universe. Similarly, there is a description of Durvasa Muni who also traveled in space. Actually, the perfect yogi can do that. But even if one can travel all over the universe and show wonderful feats like Kadama Muni, he cannot be compared to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose power and inconceivable energy can never be attained by any conditioned or liberated soul. By the action of Kadama Muni, we can understand that in spite of his immense mystic power, he remained a devotee of the Lord. That is the real position of every living entity. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurumritam Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Krupatamaham Monday. Paramananda Madhum Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Shri Gurun Dindarina. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shri Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So in this verse, Kardama Muni showed his wife the whole universe, different planets, and they went around Mount Meru and all those different gardens there, and the whole Bhumandala, I guess. There are 7 dvipas, and each dvipa they have 9 islands. Just like we are in, what dvip we are in? Anybody? The name, the dvipa we live in is called
Jambudvip?
Yes, Jambudvip, yes. And in Jambudvip there are 9 verses, and that we are located. We are in Jambudvip, all the way down south. That's called Bharatvarsh. Surrounded by ocean of salt. There are many other islands. They are surrounded by liquor and sugarcane juice, yogurt, milk, and sweet water. So you can imagine a different life in different dvipas. Here it says that by God's grace, by nature's law, each and every planet is made differently and has different wonderful features. So, for example, on Sun planet, their body is made out of, mainly made out, majority is fire, just like ours over here is mostly water and earth. Yeah. In our body, it's mostly 80% water, I guess. And also in the whole Dvipa, whole Bharatvarsh, so much water and so little, not little, but almost a quarter of the land. So they all have fiery body in Sun planet, and that's how they can stay there. I don't know anything about Moon planet, but that's what I heard about Sun planet. Here, I found it very interesting that after showing all these things to Devahuti, Kadama Muni said, it's time to go home. So they came back to his hermitage or his hut. So this is a really renunciation. Even though he can able to go anywhere in the universe, he came back to his original place. And in the last paragraph, it says, even though Kardama Muni had all this mystic power, no, it cannot be compared with Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So our best position is to become a devotee of the Lord. And Prabhupada says that is the real position of every living entity. Okay, Surabhi Mataji, you can read some chat box, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Ekendra Prabhu says, foolish persons are misled into believing that simply by some caricature of meditation and sitting postures, one can become God within 6 months. This was 50 years ago. Now, I wonder whether these descriptions of the perfection of yoga would be taken as fairy tales by contemporary yogis. The challenge seems to be an ongoing one. How to present our literature to an ever-increasingly Kali Yuga debilitated public. We depend on Krishna giving us the proper intelligence. And he said, there are practically unlimited varieties of living conditions and living entities in those conditions, even on this one planet. Yet so many people seem to find it easy to believe that within the whole universe, there's only life on this one planet.
Yeah. It's interesting first comment you made. How can we prevent all these things? Well, especially in Kali Yuga, it's not possible. They're going to do their own thing, and we have a job to spread Krishna consciousness, even though they don't want to hear. So, all the Rath Yatras and all the festivals, in a way, they'll help. It will help. Okay. Let's see. Unlimited. Yeah, people, they do believe that only one life, only life is on earthly planet. But from Bhagavatam, we know that is all the living is called Sarvagataha. They are situated everywhere in all the planets. Not in all the planets, in the water also. All the living entities are there. And unless and until they come across with devotees or some of our literature, Srimad-Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, then and then they have a chance to understand what's going on.
Ekendra Prabhu says, it's just logical that there's life everywhere, aside from even what the Bhagavatam says.
Mm-hmm. Life everywhere, yes. Okay, anybody, anything else? Perfectly unlimited. Okay, Surabhi Kunja. Next verse, please.
Vibhajanavadatmanam manavim suratotsukam ramam niramayan reme varshapugan muhurtavat. After coming back to his hermitage, he divided himself into 9 personalities just to give pleasure to Devahuti, the daughter of Manu, who was eager for sex life. In that way, he enjoyed with her for many, many years, which passed just like a moment. Purport. Here, the daughter of Swayambhuva Manu, Devahuti, is described as Suratotsuka. After traveling with her husband all over the universe, in Mount Meru and the beautiful gardens of the heavenly kingdoms, she naturally became sexually stimulated, and in order to satisfy her sexual desire, Kardama Muni expanded himself into 9 forms. Instead of 1, he became 9, and 9 persons had sexual intercourse with Devahuti for many, many years. It is understood that the sexual appetite of a woman is 9 times greater than that of a man. That is clearly indicated here. Otherwise, Kardama Muni would have had no reason to expand himself into 9. Here is another example of yogic power. As the Supreme Personality of Godhead can expand himself in millions of forms, a yogi can also expand up to 9 forms, but not more than that. Another example is that of Sobari Muni. He also expanded himself into 8 forms. But however powerful a yogi may be, he cannot expand himself into more than 8 or 9 forms. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, however, can expand himself into millions of forms, Ananta Rupa, innumerable, countless forms, as stated in the Brahma Samhita. No one can compare to the Supreme Personality of Godhead by any conceivable energetic manifestation of power.
Thank you. You can explain something?
I don't have much to explain about this verse. Let's see what anyone else says.
Yes, like Krishna expanded himself in Rasalila, millions and millions form, and each gopi head was thinking that I'm with Krishna. So that's power of Krishna. And this yogic power, they are limited up to 8 or 9 forms. Very interesting. Yeah. Okay. You want to read next one, please?
Asmin vimana utkristam sayam Caitanya-caritamrta na chabudyata tam kalam patya pichena sangata. In that aerial mansion, Devahuti, in the company of her handsome husband, situated on an excellent bed that increased sexual desires, could not realize how much time was passing. Purport: sex indulgence is so enjoyable for materialistic people that when they engage in such activities, they forget how time is passing. Saint Kardama and Devahuti, in their sex indulgence, also forgot how time was passing by.
Next one, please.
Evam yoganubhavena dampatyo ramanam ramam anayo satam vyatiyu sharada kamalala sayormanak. While the couple who eagerly longed for sexual pleasure were thus enjoying themselves by virtue of mystic powers, 100 autumns passed like a brief span of time.
Yeah, time passes when you have a really good time, right? Yeah. Okay, so we have Vijay Krishna Prabhu available. Welcome to Vijay Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mahesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. You want to read text number 47, please?
47.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Prabhu. You need to give, because I just arrived.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I need to give you some time. Okay, no problem.
Please.
Then I would like to invite Dana K.
Yeah. Tasyam adhataratastam bhavayan atmanatmavit nodha vidhaya rupam svam sarvasankalpavid vibhu. Translation: the powerful Kardamuni was the knower of everyone's heart, and he could grant whatever one desired. Knowing the spiritual soul, he regarded her as half of his body. Dividing himself into 9 forms, he impregnated Devahuti with 9 discharges of semen. Report: since Kardamuni could understand that Devahuti wanted many children, at the first chance he begot 9 children at one time. He is described here as Vibhu, the most powerful master. By his yogic power, he could at once produce 9 daughters in the womb of Devahuti.
Next, please.
Athatha Sushyovi Sadyo Devahuti Striya Prajaha Sarvastascha charu sarvakayo lohito tpaila ayaha. Translation. Immediately afterward, on the same day, Devahuti gave birth to 9 female children, all charming in every limb and fragrant with the scent of the red lotus flower. Purport. Devahuti was too sexually excited, and therefore she discharged more ova, and 9 daughters were born. It is said in the Smriti Shastra as well as in the Ayurveda that when the discharge of the male is greater, male children are begotten, but when the discharge of the female is greater, female children are begotten. It appears from the circumstances that Devahuti was more sexually excited, and therefore she had 9 daughters at once. All the daughters, however, were very beautiful, and their bodies were nicely formed. Each resembled a lotus flower and was fragrant like a lotus.
Thank you. Vijay Krishna Prabhu, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay, number 49.
Yes, Prabhu. Patim sa pravraji shantam tadala kshushati bahihi smayamana vikla vena redayena vidu yatam. Translation. When she saw her husband about to leave home, she smiled externally, but at heart she was agitated and distressed. Purport. Kardama Muni finished his household affairs quickly by his mystic power, the building of the castle in the air, traveling all over the universe with his wife in the company of beautiful girls, and begetting of children were finished, and now, according to his promise to leave home for his real concern of spiritual realization after impregnating his wife, he was about to go away. Seeing her husband about to leave, Devahuti was very disturbed, but to satisfy her husband, she was smiling. The example of Kardama Muni should be understood very clearly. A person whose main concern is Krishna consciousness, even if he is entrapped in household life, should always be ready to leave household enticement as soon as possible.
Man, we have a great lesson to be learned from this verse. We can get easily entangled in our family life or particular life. But we always have to remember our goal. Our goal is to develop love for Krishna and Krishna consciousness. So as long as we can keep eye on that goal, everything should work out okay. Especially in Kali Yuga, it's not recommended. Sannyas is not recommended actually. We have to live in family life peacefully as far as possible. Then there is a next life called Vanaprastha, which is important to go to the different places for Krishna consciousness, holy places, come back home, go back again, come back home, and develop your Krishna consciousness. And about sannyas, I don't know. It's difficult. But even though it's difficult, Prabhupada gave sannyas to his disciple because he wanted to spread Krishna consciousness. He needed help. So for that purpose, he did it. And you can see the result. This is spreading all over the world. But as far as ourselves is concerned, sannyas is not recommended. I can say this because Maharaj is not here. Because Maharaj might, he is sannyasi himself. But as I said, different people, different medicine. for us, Vanaprastha is better. Any comments, Vijay Krishna Prabhu?
Yes, I have a quick comment. The last part of the purport saying that a person whose main quote, a person whose main concern is Krishna consciousness, even if he is entrapped in household life, should always be ready to leave household enticement as soon as possible. Unquote. This quote reminds me of Srila Prabhupada. I think in Lilamrita we read that it was his first time saying yes to the first invitation for him to go to San Francisco to establish the movement. I think for the first time in San Francisco, because I think some of his disciples were there already, preparing the ground for Srila Prabhupada to come and preach. And as soon as the invitation came, and Srila Prabhupada was in New York with his disciples, 26 Second Avenue Temple, and he didn't hesitate. He didn't look back. Of course, it's not that Srila Prabhupada was entrapped in household life, but he was beginning to establish his movement in New York. But then he said, "You stay here and you go on developing the project, but I need to go." And he didn't look back. And in
Very
this
interesting
way,
point.
the movement started to spread, not only in the United States of America, but even outside of the United States of America. So that is a very good example of a person whose main concern is Krishna consciousness.
Yes, thank you for reminding us. That's true. Prabhupada could have stayed 22nd, the second Avenue, 26th Second Avenue, and say, okay, now here I did it. But then he left. Nice, good example. Yes. We should be ready to accept Krishna consciousness in any way, or any other form, anywhere. And if it's too much for you, then you just stay and chant Hare Krishna, and Krishna will find some way for you. But you like you said, you are supposed to be ready to leave your position, comfortable position. Yes.
Yes,
Very nice.
He was not attached at all.
Exactly. Right. Nice. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Anything?
Tulsi Priya Mataji says, my understanding is that sannyas is not recommended for non-Vaishnavas, but since it's so critical to spreading Krishna consciousness, that it is considered appropriate for devotees. Also, I can see sannyas being dangerous for young men, but not so much for old men.
Okay. Yeah. Even in Shastra is recommended that in Kali Yuga, sannyas is not recommended. But those who can do it, yes, they can. And also in now in our Krishna conscious movement, you have to apply for sannyas, and so many years you have to wait. So they do make it difficult for you. It's not that anybody can take sannyas nowadays in ISKCON. You have to be qualified, then pass through all these rules and coming from GBC. Let's see, I can check her chat. Okay, for Non-Vaishnava. Well, for non-Vaishnava, it's they take it anyway. Sannyas. It's not recommended. They do take. So many sannyasis in India. And yes, Prabhupada thought it was appropriate to give sannyas for spreading Krishna consciousness. Yes. Thank you. We have, let's see, who we have. Venkatesh.
Yes, Puj, I can read.
Yeah, good. Okay. Number 50.
Likanti adho-mukhi bhumim padana nakamani shriya uvacha lalitam vacham nirudhyashru kalam sanai. She stood and scratched the ground with her foot, which was radiant with the lustre of her gem-like nails. Her head bent down. She spoke in slow yet charming accents, suppressing her tears. Purport. Devavati was so beautiful that her toenails appeared just like pearls as she scratched the ground. And as she scratched the ground, it appeared as if pearls had been thrown on the ground. When a woman scratches the ground with her foot, it is a sign that her mind is very disturbed. These signs were sometimes exhibited by the gopis before Krishna. When the gopis came in the dead of night and Krishna asked them to return to their homes, the gopis also scratched the ground like this because their minds were very disturbed.
Next, please.
Text 51. Devahutir uvacha sarvam tad bhagavan mahyam upo vaha pratishrutam athapi me prapannaya abhayam datum arhasi. Translation. Shri Devavati said, "My Lord, you have fulfilled all the promises you gave me. Yet, because I am your surrendered soul, you should give me fearlessness too." Purport. Devavati requested her husband to grant her something without fear. As a wife, she was fully surrendered soul to her husband, and it is the responsibility of the husband to give his wife fearlessness. How one awards fearlessness to his subordinate is mentioned in the 5th canto of the Srimad-Bhagavatam. One who cannot get free from the clutches of death is dependent, and he should not become a spiritual master, nor a husband, nor a kinsman, nor a father, nor a mother, etc. It is a duty of the superior to give fearlessness to the subordinate. To take charge of someone, therefore, either as a father, mother, spiritual master, relative, or husband, one must accept the responsibility to give his ward freedom from the fearful situation of the material existence. Material existence is always fearful and full of anxiety. Devotee is saying, "You have given me all sorts of material comforts by your yogic power, and since you are now prepared to go away, you must give me your last award so that I may get free from this material conditional life."
You want to say something? This is, please.
Yes. So in the verse 50, it is just showing a sign of disturbed mind, as the saying goes, that face is in the index of mind. There are several ways by which one person can know what the other person is going through. So in this verse, it's particularly telling about woman scratching the ground with her foot, and Prabhupada connected to the pastime of gopis with Krishna, where gopis were told to go back to their home by Krishna, and they were disturbed that, okay, we came all the way by sacrificing so many things, but now you're telling us to go back, so that might have disturbed them. That was shown externally with that sign, though the speaking was not there. So I have experienced sometimes that some senior devotees, they look, if we do some service, they look at us. Actually, they want to say thank you, but it is communicated through the eyes. So
Yes.
that is one thing. So further in the verse text 52, sorry,
51.
51, sorry. Here, here it's the situation where the husband has to be very responsible towards his wife, and particularly here it's mentioned about giving fearlessness to the wife. So here, fifth canto is again quoted that Guru na Satya, Sojini na Satya, Pita na Satya. So there is a verse which says that one should not become a husband, spiritual master, kinsman, father, mother. All these are very responsible roles where there is a subordinate, and one should not take that position unless one is able to give fearlessness to the subordinate. So here, fearlessness means okay. I think it is shelter. But in that verse, particularly in the fifth canto, it is talking about death. Here also it is the same thing. One who cannot get free from the clutches of death is dependent, and therefore the superior must award that freedom from clutches of death to the subordinate. And here Prabhupada also says that material existence is always fearful and full of anxiety. This is not, you can say, pessimistic kind of a statement, but rather it's reality. So, and in the end, devotee says that you have given me all sorts of material comforts by your yogic power, but since you are going away, please give me freedom from this material conditional life. So I think this is a realization which she got also, that though I had so much pleasure, enjoyment and all that, but still it is not satisfying my heart, because fearlessness has not gone away. So this fearlessness is always part of conditional life, it's part of any conditional living being. So to be free from that, that is a real enjoyment and real pleasure, and that is Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, very good. Yes, we can achieve fearlessness just by becoming Krishna conscious. That is our that is the main point. Develop Krishna consciousness, you become fearless. You want to read number 52, please? You are muted, yeah.
Brahman duhitribhistubhyam vimrigya pataya sama kaschidhyame vishokaya tvai pravarjite vanam. My dear Brahman, as far as your daughters are concerned, they will find their own suitable husbands and go away to their respective homes. But who will give me solace after your departure as a sannyasi? Purport. It is said that the father himself becomes the son in another form. The father and the son are therefore considered to be non-different. A widow who has her son is actually not a widow, because she has the representative of her husband. Similarly, Devahuti is indirectly asking Kardam Muni to leave a representative so that in his absence she might be relieved of her anxieties by a suitable son. The householder is not expected to remain at home for all his days. After getting his sons and daughters married, a householder can retire from household life, leaving his wife in charge of the grown-up sons. That is the social convention of the Vedic system. Devotee is indirectly asking that in his absence from home, there be at least one male child to give her relief from her anxieties. This relief means spiritual instruction. Relief does not mean material comforts. Material comforts will end with the end of the body, but spiritual instruction will not end. It will go on with the spirit soul. Instruction in spiritual advancement is necessary, but without having a worthy son, how could Devavati advance in spiritual knowledge? It is the duty of the husband to liquidate his debt to his wife. The wife gives her sincere service to the husband, and he becomes indebted to her because one cannot accept service from a subordinate without giving him something in exchange. The spiritual master cannot accept service from a disciple without awarding him spiritual instruction. That is the reciprocation of love and duty. Thus, Devavati reminds her husband, Kardamuni, that she has rendered him faithful service. Even considering the situation on basis of liquidating his debt toward his wife, he must give a male child before he leaves. Indirectly, Devavati requests her husband to remain at home for a few days more, or at least until a male child is born.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
So here it's a very big purport with several points. So here the first theme mainly is that the father lives through his son, like that. We see that also in the Krishna book or in the 10th canto, where the story of Romarshana Sutta is there, where Lord Balram actually saw that Romarshana no, who was the first speaker who was actually killed by Balram?
Yeah, Romaharshi.
Romarshan, okay. So then he was seen by Balram as not a fit spiritual master because he was proud and he was not having the qualities of having surrendered to the Supreme Lord, because when Balram came, he didn't get off his seat when all the seniors were actually getting down and offering respect. So then Balram saw that yes, he's not fit like that. So then he killed him with the grass. And then the sages were saying that now we need somebody at least to guide us further. So then Balram thought, okay, now I have killed him, but again we have to make him alive. So how can that be done? Then he saw that his son is there. So what was his son's name?
Sutta Goswami.
Oh yeah,
Sutta.
Sutta Goswami. So then he was chosen, and then he was empowered by Balram, and he had very suitable qualities. So Sutta Goswami, Sutta means son. So that I think name comes from there.
Yeah.
So further here, Kardamuni is also requested by Devavati, which I see that she is very intelligent, that she knew that what she wants and she was able to request it. And later we'll see how that Kardamuni was able to actually do that responsibility also. So she was very alert. I think that is one quality which I can learn from here, that we should not be completely spaced out here and there. Rather be alert of what will actually help us in our life. And further here, the Vedic system of life is mentioned, where the householder need not remain at home for all his days. So his duties are mainly to get the sons and daughters married, and once that is done, the householder can leave the house or retire from household life, and the wife should be kept in charge of the grown-up sons. Yes, and further, yes, Devavati is asking for a male child. Like that, and particularly one statement here is relief does not mean material comforts. So that is the mistake of the modern civilization, where they think that we have the bank balance, we have a home, we have some internet facility and many things, that they feel that that is relief. But Prabhupada clearly states that here material comforts will end with the body, but spiritual instructions will not end, and that will go on with the spirit soul. According to Bhagavad Gita, spirit soul never dies, rather the journey continues eternally. So, so spiritual knowledge, that is what could actually help Devavati. So the husband would anyways go away, but then who would give her spiritual knowledge? So therefore, a son who is empowered, who is highly advanced in spiritual knowledge, can give that knowledge to Devavati. That is what she was indirectly asking. And the last part is about reciprocation, where the husband or any superior or spiritual master cannot take service from the subordinate or disciple or wife unless that person can give something in reciprocation.
Mhm.
So therefore, Devati is reminding husband that, okay, I have given you service now. Please help me with this, my advancement also. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very nice, Venkatesh.
Right.
So we are reaching that time again, and I would like to request Krishna Kaunteya Prabhu for your Hare Krishna Kirtan.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Jai Guru Dev, Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Nitai Gaur Brahmanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhans Parivicharya Astottara Srimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhans Parivicharya Astottara Srimad Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय, प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तों की जय, श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर नाम की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, मथुरा धाम की जय, मायापुर वृंदावन की जय, जगन्नाथपुरी की जय, गंगा मई जमुना मई की जय, तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की जय, समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the Assembly of Hare Krishna. All glories to Assembly. All glories to Assembly. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga.
Jai, Jai, Jai. Thank you so much, Mahesh Pandit Prabhu, and thank you, Krishna Kanteya Prabhu, for the kirtan. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Gurudas Prabhu has one final comment. He says, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Haribo.
Thank you for reading your comment.
Yes.
Hope we can see you all on Monday and hope Maharaj will be able to join us. We shall see. Tune in next time for Srimad-Bhagavatam class with His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami. And friends, Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Samaveta Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
Jai.
Gaur Premanande.
Haribo.
Thank you, Kendra Prabhu.